right, this is going to be a really practical, short video. This is something that I get emailed about constantly, and I find myself recording the same voice messages over and over, sending the same emails to people over and over about this topic, and it is they don't know what to work on in their practice time, or they're not seeing progress in their practice time. Any numbers of rearranging that phrase and statement, and that's the issue. In other words, they're getting their practice time, they don't have a plan, they don't know what they're doing, they wind up goofing off for a while, and then 4 months later, they don't understand why they haven't made any progress. I'm not calling anybody out here, it's just something, anytime you see me make a video on here, it's something I'm dealing with a lot with either the members on my website, or the students I see in person, or the people I'm talking to in my messages, and my email, my Instagram, all of those. So here's the deal. If you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. That is a quote by Benjamin Franklin, okay? And it is very, very true. If you go into your practice time and you have failed to create a plan, a specific course of action that is going to get you from point A to point B, point A being where you are and point B being where you want to go, you have already failed before you started. Why? Because you don't know where you're going, okay? And it seems simple, but we all do it. I do it too. So don't feel bad. You're in good company. I do this all the time. And I go, okay, stop playing, sit down. Let's make a plan here. I liken this to you show up. Let's say you go, visit your great Aunt Gertrude in a city you've never been to. And she's old and she can't get out. And she's like, I need you to go to Kroger for me. No problem, Aunt Gertrude, right? Aunt Gertie, whatever you call her. I can go there for you. You just walk out the door, you get in your car, and you start driving. You're just going to find Kroger, right? That would be ridiculous. You've never been to the town before. You don't know where the Kroger is. You don't even know where her house is. You got to find that on the map. What's the first thing you're going to do? You sit down and go, okay, where's Kroger? How long is it going to take me to get there? What's the best route? Oh, there's traffic at this time. You're literally going to make a plan immediately. And that's second nature because it seems ludicrous to get in your car and just go drive to try to run an errand when you don't know where the place is. That's what we do when we show up in our practice time and we have no plan. Oh, I need to get better at my kick drum. That is about as ambiguous as we can get. Well, my groove really needs to get better. Good luck working on that if you don't have a plan. So what do? All right, you got the issue. Like, okay, I got it. I'm in the car. I'm driving around for 2 hours. I never find Kroger. I never get the groceries. Aunt Gertrude's now in the hospital because she's dehydrated because I didn't get her the stuff she needed. Like, it's serious. Same thing in your practice time. So what do we do to remedy this so that you can see the progress you want to see? It is a very simple goal setting 101. Take the next year. We work from the macro to the micro, the big goals to the small goals. What are the 2 to 3 things that you want to be better at in the next 12 months? No more than that. Why no more than that? Because problems are like animals. My mom always said, if you let, 2 or 3 animals out of the cage at the same time, you got a good time, you can handle them. Any more than 2 or 3 animals out of the cage at one time, you have a zoo. Do not try to work on all the problems all the time. You will be working on some of those problems just by working on some of the other issues. There's a lot of cross-pollination. I talk about that with my students a lot in your practice time. So first, what's those 2 or 3 things? Okay, I want to get better at singles between the hand and the foot. I want to get better at the molar stroke, and I want to get better at playing a samba. Great. Those are my 3 goals. How am I going to get there? I have my big goals. Okay, how am I going to get there? Well, then I'm going to go find the content that is going to get me there. That may be some video lessons. That may be an in-person teacher. That may be a book. It may be a DVD. You need the resource to get you there. You have the goal, but you need to define how you're going to get there, okay? Let's say you've decided that you're going to pick a 100-page book for singles between the hands and the foot. Let's just use that for instance. Okay, now we have our macro goal, better singles between the hands and the foot, which is very ambiguous, but we're going to be more specific. We now have a book that works through this, right? So what you're going to do is that book is 100 pages long. Break it down to 6 months. Okay, in 6 months, where do I need to be to finish this material by the end of the year? I need to have 50 pages done. Okay, writing this down. In 6 months, I will be done with pages 1 through 50 of this book. In the next 6 months, I will be done with pages 51 through 100 of this book, and I will have reached my goal, and I will be better at singles between the hands and the feet. Okay, we work backwards even further from there. Remember, macro to the micro, big to the small. Then we're going to go, okay, in 3 months, what do I need to do? In 3 months, there's 3 times 4 equals 12, 12 months in a year, right? Simple math here. We are going to take and we're going to divide that 50 pages by 2 because there's 2 sets of 3 months in 6 months. So I need to be finished with 25 pages, pages 1 through 25, the first 3 months. The second 3 months, pages 26 through 50. That's what needs to happen. I'm writing it down. Okay, now work back even further. 1 month. Okay, well, 25 is not divisible by 3, but it almost is. So I need to finish 8 to 9 pages of this book every month to reach my goal. Okay, let's work back even further. 2 weeks. In the next 2 weeks, what do I need to do? I need to finish 4.5 pages of this book in the next 2 weeks. In the next week, what do I need to do? I need to finish 2 pages of this book. 2 1/4 if we're really going to divide it up. And that will get me there. Do you see? We have our big goal. Get better at hand and foot, singles between the hands and the foot. We have our material. We take our material, we chop our material up into 6-month chunks, 3-month chunks, 1-month chunks, 2-week chunks, 1-week chunk, and then it's daily. Am I tracking to be done with my 2 1/4 pages by the end of this week? That is how you get from point A to point B. That is how you see massive progress in your practice time. That is how you do not leave your practice time discouraged because you didn't see the progress you wanted to see. That is how you become a better drummer. Do not sit down at that drum set without a plan. Even if your plan is, I am going to jam for an hour to music that I love. Have at it. Go, man. But do not say, I want to get better at singles between the hands and the foot, and then go jam for an hour when you need to be working on the material that you said you were going to work on. It's okay to play this instrument anytime you want. But when it comes to practice time, you have to be serious about that. You got to set your goals. You got to know where you're going. You got to know the routes you're taking to get there. You got to know what vehicle you're using. And then you have to do the work day in, day out. Keep a practice log. I have all these resources for my students on my website when they're going through the different lesson courses. It's a practice log for every day. It's a this, set your goals, this. It's done for your resources. Why? Because I need to see you hit that goal. You said you wanted to get better there. Had somebody email me a couple weeks ago, hey, I'm getting kind of tired of this. I'm on lesson 7. I only got 8 lessons in this, but kind of burned down. I really want to jump ship. I'm like, why would you jump ship? We've done 7 lessons. You've got 1 more, and then you hit your goal, and then you feel a sense of accomplishment, and then you set a new goal. I'm like, no, I'm not allowing you to jump ship. You got to stay the course. So before you ever sit down to this drum set, make a plan. If not, you're already planning to fail. If you don't have a plan, put the sticks down and don't even approach the kit. Sit down. That's the quickest way to get there. It's not, well, I only got an hour. I need to go ahead and get on the kit. No. Spend 5 to 10 minutes setting your goals, 50 to 55 minutes working those goals. I'm telling you, that's the only way to see massive progress.